he like broke into this dude's penthouse and did such and such and such, and then drove his Bentley into his swimming pool.
Oh my gosh!
It's literally what they do in Tower Heist.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
We did it.
We did what?
Episode 20.
Well, we're doing it now.
We
Don't
have
put the
made
cart
it
before the horse.
to the episode. Anything else is just icing on the cake. If we actually get it recorded, then
That's true.
that's great.
That's a fair point.
But welcome everyone
Meteor crashes.
to Screenwoven, your hub for all things stories. Got it. I'm Chris Davis. This is DP Rowell. Big D, Daniel in the house.
I don't really know who I am, to be honest. I'm going to do an existential
still trying
crisis.
to find that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to finally be here after about a month break, 3 weeks or a month. We actually, on normal scheduling, would have already had this episode out, but I have family in town. It's been a whole thing, so it got postponed.
Yeah.
But
He's not serious about his dreams, is
No.
what he's trying to say.
not at all. I learned that a long time ago. But we're here now, and we're gonna at least attempt to take them seriously for today. As serious as we take anything on this show.
That's
I
a
guess.
fair point.
I
I obviously don't even take myself seriously because I don't know who I am.
don't know. I think you take yourself pretty seriously. Look at you, always outdress me. You can't say you don't take yourself seriously and then show up in like a vest and a button-down shirt.
All right, but let's be real. You set the bar pretty low.
Look, I'm not gonna argue that
I'm just joking.
t-shirts and jeans or whatever these are, khakis.
Cargos. Or,
I'm like Jake from State Farm over here.
No, he wore a polo and it was tucked in.
But in the commercial, they were like
Khakis.
khakis.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, I guess yours are kind of too. So, yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, the vest, I like to call it a waistcoat, just because that's what the British people call it. And it's like, I don't know why I'm even talking about that right now. But anyways, it feels.
I guess because I put you on the spot.
I guess so. But I'm just saying, sometimes it feels like too much when I'm wearing it. I'm like, does this? But if I just took the waistcoat off, it would look pretty like normal. But people see it and they're like, "Wow, that guy's really."
He's
I'm like,
rich.
I'm not trying to make a statement. I just like the way
Well, it's a statement
waistcoats
piece.
look. Oh, thank you.
It's a statement piece.
I wish this was normalized. I'm gonna try to normalize it. I want
I would
everyone
love
to wear
that.
waistcoats.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Don't you? I mean, they look cool, don't they?
I like the
they
look.
Look fun.
I just don't own any nice clothes, but I like the look.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah. So 3 weeks off. How you been?
Been good. All things considered.
You done any movie watching? Any movie news
Oh yeah,
gathering?
we've been talking about some of it.
We have. We've kind of talked here and there. You got anything you want to? Sorry, trying to adjust here. Kick us off with, or you want me to?
I can, but how much chunk of time do you think you will need to discuss the things that you want to discuss?
I can make it work, man.
Okay. Because I know there's one thing that I watched that I kind of want to talk about. So maybe we can start with that.
Yeah, let's lead off with that. I hate that. I kind of avoided it, but now I hate that I did. I feel like I'm not going to be able to contribute as much, but I'm probably going to be asking a lot of questions. So
That's fair. So The Paper recently came out, which is the sequel to The Office. It's a sequel series. You know how I feel about sequels and remakes and kind of stuff, and I'm kind of sick of them. But this was a really clever idea for a way to do it. It was at least done in a different type of way. A lot of mixed reviews about The Paper out there. It's very mixed.
I would agree with that.
It's not even like someone, I think you sent me a review of a guy who said that people either love it or hate it. I don't really see it that way. I see everything. People don't know how to feel about it. Like, that's kind of my take from it. It's what it seems like to me. I didn't know how to feel about it when it first started, but after watching a few episodes, they threw in some political stuff that rubbed me the wrong way. And that kind of got me to stop watching it for a little bit, but I've considered going back. So just focusing specifically on the storytelling, the way they've done the sequel and stuff, I think it's great. I actually like it better than The Office. I think I'm the only one who has that opinion.
Yeah, you might be.
Yeah, I might.
At least from what I've seen.
Because, I don't know. But so the way they're doing, most people probably already know this, but just as a way to say why I think it's a clever way to do it, the way they're doing the sequel is it's pretty much none of the same characters. It's the documentary crew that filmed Dunder Mifflin is now going to Toledo, Ohio to do this newspaper company that's failing in a digital age, which is a funny premise. And so it's all new characters, except one guy who, after Dunder Mifflin closed, moved over to that paper company, Oscar from The Office. But his role is very minimal in it. It kind of comes back and forth. He's kind of just like a little nod to like, hey, remember him? And his parts are pretty funny, but he's not into that much. But I like all of the characters in the paper, and none of them are cringy necessarily. Like The Office was cringe. That's what was like its whole thing. Is Michael Scott is just the most cringe person ever. The most inappropriate, like out of like you would never see someone do that in a situation. This is really different, where the main guy who the newspaper company is failing, and they're bringing on a new editor-in-chief to try and get it back up, and he just loves journalism. Like he's so crazy about it, and it's endearing, but he's naive about how the world works and that people are out there to hurt him. And so this Italian woman who was the current editor-in-chief, she's getting demoted because he's coming in. She is like hates him, and she's constantly doing things to try and undermine him, and he doesn't even know he's being like, messed with
right.
her. I hated her at first because she's evil, like some of the stuff she does, but then it starts getting funny, and she's like cartoonishly villainous. Like it's pretty funny. I don't know what else to say other than that. Like, I think the characters are all really endearing. Like, he's got this mission. He wants the team to get together. He believes they can make the paper good again. And I almost believe he can do it just because he's so gung-ho about it. But he's a little nerdy and quirky, and he misses things, and he's naive. And then when the antagonist like puts him up against scenarios, like he doesn't respond to it well. Sometimes he gives into it and he falls for the bait and stuff. And sometimes he retaliates in immature ways. So like, you can just see the growth process they're gonna have in him. It's a lot of fun.
That's fair. Have you finished it?
No. I stopped watching after like the third or fourth episode.
I'd be curious to know how you feel about like the end of it, just because like the thing I sent you where he said that like he found the ending rushed and maybe even a little unbelievable based on like how the rest of the season went. I'll be curious to know if you agree or disagree with that. It's kind of funny because like you said, he said in the video, you either kind of love it or hate it. But then he himself in the video kind of made it sound like he was more like neutral on it. Like he doesn't love it, but he didn't hate it. He saw some good in it, but it wasn't like his new favorite show or anything.
The reason I think people don't know how to feel about it is because they're watching it through the lens of The Office, which is inevitable.
Of course.
You can't get away from that.
And that's what he said too. I mean, I think this show in a way was doomed the second they announced it the way they did.
That's very true. It's probably a promotional issue.
The second that they were like, hey, y'all have been asking for it, we're finally, doing a sequel to The Office, you were doomed, because you immediately will have people who, before they saw a second of it, were going, there's no way this will be better than The Office.
Yeah.
Then you have people who have certain expectations based on The Office that you cannot meet, at least not immediately, because they have expectations that were built over, 8 seasons of a cast and chemistry and running jokes and this and that they're expecting you to meet in the first season with an all-new cast and an all-new location with a whole new premise. And let's be honest, I'm not even just talking about the main guy. No one on that cast is going to come close to a Steve Carell. Steve Carell he's like a Jim Carrey. They're like a once-in-a-generation kind of talent. Like you get maybe one or two in like the like next group of actors coming up. Like you know,
but here's the thing though, because the guy in the video said, and I fundamentally disagreed with this. He said that when you're watching it, you're seeing how they're setting it up as like, oh, this is the new gym, this is the new, and I'm like, no. I didn't get that at all. People are viewing it that way because of the way they announced it. If they had done this without they just said, hey, new show, the paper is coming out. And people started watching it, and then you slowly see nods like, wait, is this the same? You know, that would have been better. Yeah, that would have been way better.
Just let them figure it out.
But the thing that I loved about it is they didn't try to do that. It's not a recreation of this is a whole new team. Everyone is different. The dynamics between how the team interacts is different. It's not cringe like The Office. It doesn't have the same type of it really feels like it's just a whole new different type of thing.
I think
the connection that it's like a paper company that's failing, like
right. Well, I think too it would have been like an internet exploding moment if you had not shown the world in the first of all, don't announce it's a sequel.
Yeah.
And then don't show in the trailer Oscar in it.
Yeah.
And then wait like midway, like if there's 10 episodes, like around episode 5, be like, okay, we got a new employee coming in. He's transferring from another company, you know, blah, blah, blah. And maybe even make it like the whole episode is about like, you know how The Office would have these like bottle episodes where they're like trying to figure out like one thing or like maybe there's a B plot going on somewhere else in the office. Make like the A plot be like, they're trying to figure out who this guy is. Like, you know, maybe somewhere else in the city, like in The Office, they have like the Scranton Strangler.
Yeah.
Like maybe there'd be some kind of thing going on there. They're like, what if he's a criminal? And like, they're like, you know, just let it be goofy. And then at the end, it's Oscar. And you're like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. And then have him, you know, confirm that it is actually him by doing the little thing he does where he's like, oh, not this again when he sees the camera crew. The internet would have lost their minds because that would have been like, there probably already would have been murmurs by about 5 episodes into like, man, this kind of feels like in spirit, if nothing less, like a spinoff or something of The Office, the way they're doing it. To have someone come in and confirm it's the same universe, just a different place, dude, people would have lost their minds.
I totally agree. And I think everyone would have loved it. There wouldn't have been any kind of like...
Because to your point, it sounds like everyone else is different enough where it's not like they're necessarily trying to kind of like, I want to say his name's Drew, that I sent you. Drew alluded to that like, oh, you know, this is the new so-and-so, this is the new so-and-so. Yeah. I think by then people would have been able to accept it's its own show.
Yeah.
And then by just kind of, you know, folding it into that universe with the Oscar reveal, I think would have been really cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. That would have been a way better way to do it.
But, you know, I always said that too about, which I think we've had this conversation, not on here, but me and you have had this conversation. I always said that about The Joker.
Oh, yeah,
the movie, the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I always said I think that movie would have probably performed a lot better if it had just been portrayed as kind of like a thriller.
Yeah.
With like a crazy guy. And then at the end, like maybe you drop some little nods here and there, and maybe some hardcore Batman fans would have figured it out before the end, but kind of have like a twist ending where at the end you realize like, oh my gosh, this guy's the Joker. Like to me, that would have been a lot better and would have probably got more attention than...
Are there any comic lines where the name Arthur Fleck is tied to the Joker?
I think so. I mean, I definitely know there's early versions of him, especially where like the reason he took on this personification as a villain as the Joker is because he was a failed comedian.
That was in The Killing Joke, wasn't it?
I think that's one of them. Yeah. Like there's a few where he does that, and he his kind of introduction into like a life of crime is that he's a failed comedian. He's broke, and this gang, the Red Hood gang, is going around Gotham doing stuff, and they kind of bring him into it. And through like doing like something goes wrong on like a job with them, and that's how he becomes like the Joker. But yeah, he was the original Red Hood also.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, canonically. That's kind of where Jason Todd got that from.
Don't you mean comically?
Yeah. I don't know how I messed that up. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Arthur Fleck was his name in a couple. But see, it's like I was telling you, the thing to me, and I can't speak for every fan, and I know we're off topic, but I'm going to finish this thought and we'll get back to the paper. But the thing for me that always made him more interesting was that you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
You have no idea who this guy is. To me, that is so much scarier than like, oh, he's a failed comedian. Like, now we know exactly why he does what he does. Like, for the most part, I mean, obviously he's crazy, but
it's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, like to me, that's always scarier.
Yeah.
So to make a whole movie about like, here's my backstory, and I know everyone throws in the whole, well, you find out that he's telling a therapist or whatever in Arkham, so it's kind of an unreliable narrator. Like, yeah, I get it, but then then the whole movie's pointless.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
So it's either real and it's dumb, or it's pointless and should have never been made. Like, anyway. But back to the paper. So, okay, let me ask this. Humor is, because the thing I keep hearing you say that you like about it so much is it's endearing. Is it funny?
Oh, it's hilarious. Like, that's what makes the jokes are so good, because they're not relying on the cringe type of humor before. There's like this endearing, naive guy who fumbles through things, and it's like, okay, can I tell you one of the jokes? It'll spoil it. This was so funny to me. And there was a bunch of things that, well, I'll tell you two of them. These are the only two that I'll spoil in case you want to. And like the first episode, the Italian, the new guy hasn't come in yet, and the Italian lady's giving them a tour, and she's like, I just have a nose for journalism. I just see stories when they happen. And the camera pans, and there's a building on fire right next to them. And like nobody's reacting to it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
They do a lot of stuff like that keeps you like chuckling. But there's an episode, I think it's the second episode, where that lady, she reacts to something that the new guy says. He asks her to do something, but she, being vicious, takes it a completely different way, and she ends up cutting I forget exactly what the term is, but she cuts the wire to something or whatever. They don't have any stories, and he has to give out his first story as editor-in-chief. So the whole time he's like, all right, guys, we got to find a story. Go out and do stuff. Or go out and interview people, do whatever. We got to find a story to publish for our paper. And he's like starting to panic, and he calls this I forget this place. It's like a place where they put dead bodies.
A morgue?
Yeah. He calls a morgue. He's like, have you got any like really, weird like dead bodies that you got in lately, like any scars on them or something? And it's like, please, I just need something. Just give me something. And so it's like obvious he's like losing his mind over this. And so he starts asking for specific things like bullet wounds or any scars. So then that goes away. Later on, they're still not finding a story, and she's like trying to get him to avoid finding. So she invites him to this dinner, and he's like stressed about it. He finally gets a call. He's been calling people, let me know if you hear anything. He finally gets a call from someone. He says, hey man, I think that we might have found something for you. And he's like, oh really? I think it was a police officer. He said, yeah, we got a hit from someone saying that there's someone, a murderer on the loose, and he might be doing this or that. And he's like, that's great. He's like, I mean, you know what I mean? So he's like all bragging about it. So then he gets the whole team together into the room, and he gets the chief on the line. He's like, yeah. He's like, this dude left all of these comments about like these very specific like things that they were looking for in dead bodies. And they were all like, and I had left. By the way, when someone called and said, we think there's a murderer, Claire, she said, what if it's the Scranton Strangler? And I was like, that's funny. But so they all go up in the room, and he's like, this cop, like, yeah, we got this dude looking for very specific things. It's very strange. It seems like he wanted us to be able to find him, and so we're working on this now. He says, great, play it. And then it plays back his voicemail that he left earlier. And you probably were guessing that, but it had gone over, like that was past right, at like that point.
Throughout watching it through the episode,
yeah.
It was a good callback. Like, oh my God.
So it was his voice, and then he like hangs it up very nervously. He's like, don't worry about it, guys. It was nothing. Let's just get out of my office.
Just get out of my office.
And he's like so nervous. It's really, really funny. So yeah, there's a lot of really great jokes, like surprisingly good jokes in that show.
Fair enough. Because I'm going to be honest with you. those are both actually pretty funny. Every clip I've seen of it, like when it was leading up to release, I was like, I want to like this so bad. Like, it looks cute, but I loved the cringe element of The Office. Like, I loved literally, like, physically shrugging my shoulders with, like, my body was, like, cramping up from cringing. I loved it. And,
well, I don't hate myself, so
I mean, guilty. No, I mean,
that makes me sad.
I mean, I don't like it. Just the dry humor, the timing. I was glad you said the one about like the fire thing, because the use of the camera crew for part of the humor made The Office so unique in how it could do certain jokes and stuff like that. And I don't know, man.
Well, this is probably why my opinion is very not shared by a lot of people, because the cringe elements of The Office, I liked it in spite of that. It was all the other stuff that I liked. I hated the cringe when it was just so cringy. It made you uncomfortable. I hated that part.
Man,
the parts that I liked were when Michael literally followed a GPS straight into the
but that is cringe. That is cringe.
Not in the same sense of
to think that someone, well, to be honest, like, he's not even necessarily dumb enough to believe that. He's doing it because he thinks this is proving a point that machines don't know better than people. Like, that is cringy. Like, I get your point. There's way cringier things, but like everything he did was cringe humor, because every time he even thought he was making a good point, he took it to like an extreme that no one else would take.
If that's your definition of cringe, then you will find that in the paper.
Fair enough.
There are things like that. I'm talking about where he's like, "Give me your cookie," that type of stuff.
Okay, season 1, Michael was the worst.
Yeah, or Prison Mike. You know,
Prison Mike's great.
He was funny, but it's like I said, I don't like the cringe. He did it so bad.
And the Dementors were awful. Oh my God, he is so. I don't know, man. Again, it's Steve Carell, man. It's hard.
But what you will like about the paper is they're not trying to recreate Steve Carell. I loved that. Like, this guy. Do you know who the main guy is? You've seen the trailers. He's the same guy who played in the new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah. He's like a bad dude.
Yeah, but he's hilarious. Like, he's got a lot of range as an actor.
That's fair.
He's even got this almost lisp, and he does this perfect American. I don't know if he's American or British in real life, but
I'm not sure.
I can't tell because he does both really well. But
I should know he's from the Empire.
Yeah, the First Order, actually.
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Gosh, I don't base my Star Wars lore off the new ones.
I know, I understand. I like that they're trying to do another Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling. Great choice. And
well, as an actor, yeah.
Sure, but what I don't like is that this is in the future. This is after the new trilogy. That's what I'm like, guys. I've heard rumors that they're saying they're going to pretty much pretend like that whole trilogy never existed.
Smart.
It sort of, but it's almost like, how do you do that? I mean,
that you can't.
Yeah, you can't. You've done it now.
You can, but it's not like we're going to forget 9 hours worth of movie.
I know. You can't just decanonize it. You know, it's if
they were going to do that, they should have done it before the third one came out and restarted it like they said they were going to.
Yeah.
They should have realized the second one flopped with most of the fan base. We're not gonna get into that. I know you like that one.
No, I don't really like it.
I thought you defended that one pretty adamantly.
Well, okay, I did initially when I first saw it, but as time went on, I think I was in denial, is what it was, because I was a really, really big Star Wars fan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I was little, I was making Star Wars movies all the time with my friends.
Wow.
And they just did Luke so dirty in Last Jedi.
They did.
And so I eventually was like, all right, it's bad. Y'all are right. It's bad.
Okay.
So
I remember being pretty shocked that because you defended that one pretty hardcore when we first talked about it.
I did, because
I get it. I mean,
I was in denial. I mean, that's literally what it was. It's like, I can't believe they did this. I just can't accept that they did this.
I was I was kind of like that with Space Jam 2 for a little bit. Now, not nearly as long, because as bad as was it Force Awakens? No, that was the first one.
Force Awakens wasn't
The
that
Last
bad.
Skywalker was that? No, what's the
The
second?
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Oh my gosh, as bad as that one is, Space Jam 2 is way worse, like way worse.
Yeah.
So my denial only lasted like a day, but I was like, because I wanted to like it so bad. I just wanted them to do the Looney Tunes justice, and they couldn't even give me that. But
Well, it was LeBron James.
yeah,
You can't do anything good with LeBron
Yeah.
James.
Tell me about it. Anyway, but yeah, no, I forgot what we were talking about with the Ryan Gosling thing. Yeah, I don't know. In general, I just think they need to let it rest, man. Just let it be. I hate saying that, because I know if this was something like a fandom I was really passionate about, and someone said that, I'd be like, you don't know what you're talking about. There's plenty of gas left in this tank. But also, as a fan of something, I don't think I'd want to see it just constantly ripped apart.
Yeah.
Every time something new comes out. I just
Well, they had an opportunity to see. I always wanted there to be more done on movies with the Old Republic, because the games about the Old Republic before, like thousands of years before the movie happened, those games had cool storylines, and it was like when the when the Old Republic was great, and there were like tons of Jedi and tons of Sith, and well, I shouldn't say tons of Sith, but I don't know, like the games were awesome. They had so much opportunity, and they just keep going back to that original trilogy, and now they've ruined it. And like I said with Ryan Gosling, now I'm like, he's a great choice. The idea of Starfighter for a movie is interesting. It's a different person, but now it's in the future of this stupid world that they created with the last trilogy. It's You can't get, like, why wouldn't you go into the past, into the good old days?
Yeah, no, that's not a bad point. I think that's what's been so weird to me about Star Wars. It's like I look at Marvel and like DC and stuff, and I'm always like telling people I don't think superhero fatigue is real, because I think it's just like mid-level, like not great, not terrible, but not great storytelling is what's kind of killing the momentum of a lot of these movies. And I never understand it, because I always tell people you have decades of source material to draw from. Star Wars is no different at this point. They have comics, they have novels, they have video games, and everyone would agree pretty much all of those, every novel, every comic, and every video game that they've ever put out is better than probably even some of the more well-regarded movies. Like, they're really good stories that you could adapt to screen. You could do Disney Plus shorts on them. You could do movies on them. You could do whatever you want and just put a cool visual to what's already a well-regarded story within the fandom, and they're just not doing it.
I know.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
But, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully.
All that except for The Force Unleashed. Those were fun games, but they pooped all over the story.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'll give you that, because I don't remember them, and when I did play them, I didn't know really a thing about Star Wars, but those games were dope.
Oh yeah, no, as gameplay, like, it's so much fun.
Shooting lightning at everything was awesome.
Yeah. But the storyline that Darth Vader had some Padawan,
is that who we played as?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's an awesome premise, but they didn't do the story, like they crapped all over the story and the canon and stuff. It's a fun game, but it's a silly story, which I didn't care, because I never felt like I never felt like the story was the selling point of that game. It was like what you said, shoot lightning at everything.
Yeah.
That's why I played it. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't really care that much about the story.
I just liked using the Force and like throwing the lightsaber around and shooting lightning. That's pretty much all I remember from that game.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something else I was going to ask you about the paper, but now I can't remember what it was.
Let's hear what you want to talk about.
I was going to say, yeah, we might move on. If I remember, we'll come back to it.
You got super New York all of a sudden.
I did?
Yeah, you were like, all right, we might move on.
Oh, okay. So,
On a 10% kaboom.
sorry, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either. You're like from the South. You've been in the South your whole life. You have a
Literally.
Southern accent.
I don't think I've ever been anywhere north of Maine. I'm just kidding.
That was pretty good. That's the kind of thing that would be in the paper. No, probably not.
So on the same note of you talking about you not loving sequels and remakes and things like that, before we started recording, I showed you a little clip of something called The Black Knight. So before I tell you anything about that, did I not? That was one of the things I was supposed to show you. Oh my gosh, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Okay, I'm going to show you now. We'll just cut it.
What did you show me?
I showed you the clip from
Wonder Man.
Wonder Man, and Now You See Me.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I'm going to show him now. We'll cut this out, and when we cut back, we'll just be discussing it.
That ended very anticlimactically.
Well, so let's get into it a little bit.
All right.
First, what'd you think?
I don't
mean,
know.
Not that it gave you any. I mean, obviously, there's no dialogue or anything. I'm just saying, like, visually. I mean, did you find that intriguing? Was it cool? Would you want to know more about that? Like, what's going on, or is that kind of just like, I mean,
yeah, it's just Okay.
I
mean, it looked cool, but I just like I have such little information that I don't even want to ask more. I'm just like, all right, I guess that was a clip of some ninja lady fighting this huge armored dude.
So that was, first of all, hand-drawn animation.
That's really cool.
Unlike anything you pretty much... The closest thing you'll see to that is the Spider-Verse movies in, like, modern animation. Like, you just don't see a lot of that anymore.
Yeah.
So that was hand-drawn. I mean, obviously on a computer, but hand-drawn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to butcher this name. So be forewarned. But have you ever heard of Gennady Tartakovsky?
No.
Gennady Tartakovsky.
Unless I have heard of him, but you just don't know how to say the name.
Well, I had never heard of him. But apparently, he is involved in a lot of animation. Like, stuff you definitely would have heard of. I have him pulled up here. So he was involved. Now, to what extent, I don't know. But I know pretty heavily involved in Samurai Jack.
Oh,
Dexter's Laboratory.
Ooh.
Star Wars, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then some other stuff that I've never heard of.
Have you ever watched Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
The newest thing that he's been involved in, it actually kind of looks like Samurai Jack, is a show called Primal in 2019.
Oh, I've heard of that show.
So he's pretty heavy in the animation sphere. So he posted that clip on his Instagram, and he said, "Well, this might get me in trouble, but gotta try a new strategy. About 6 years ago, we started development on a more adult animated action movie, The Black Knight. We developed it for a few years. The studio liked what we were doing, but they were unsure if there's an audience that would go see it theatrically. We made a down and dirty test, and still no go. So to try something different, I thought I would share the test to see if it can get a groundswell of excitement that would change the studio's mind. I won't share the details of the story except for one element. Our knight armor is 20 feet high and controlled by a knight inside using ropes, pulleys, and levers. The setting is around the 14th century. Anyways, I've already said too much." So the premise we don't know anything about other than that giant armor is 20 feet high, and there's a dude inside controlling all those movements he was doing with like ropes and stuff, which is pretty interesting. And there was a huge outpour of like support on Twitter around the time this was put out, but the one that I saved is someone who said, "Gennady co-created a $1 billion kids franchise, created 2 of Cartoon Network's most popular shows, created a popular HBO animated series for adults, is basically the last auteur in American animation, and he still has to beg like an indie animator to get anything made. So I found that interesting because I know we talk a lot about you specifically. You're sick of all the remakes. You're sick of all the sequels. Like, let's get some original content out. And I mainly wanted to know up front your opinion on someone who's so really well regarded by fans and apparently studios in that, stratosphere of animation, not being able to get an original project like that out because they're afraid that people won't go see it.
Yeah, do they have, he said something about testing. Is it like they tested it and it didn't do well or something?
Well, what you saw was he called it a down and dirty test something. Basically, even what you saw was not completely polished as far as how it looked, like the animation. And if you notice, like I said, there's no talking or anything, which there probably would be in an actual version or something of that scene in a movie. So I'm assuming what that was, like, what he said was they had been working on developing it for a while, and the studio was liking what they were doing, but they were afraid there wouldn't be an audience turnout.
Right.
So they created that to show them, to kind of like move them forward on it, and they still didn't move on it. And so he leaked it and basically put out that statement with it.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that gives me a lot of information. So I'll be honest, that doesn't excite me enough to want to create some kind of grassroots, I don't know if that's the right term, movement around this, like, let's get this film made. But it sounds like his hands are tied. It sounds like he's not allowed to really share what he needs to share in order to get people interested. So,
yeah.
And I've worked at organizations like this where they will tell you to go do something, and then they will tie your hands and then say, why aren't you doing the thing that I've asked you to do? And it sounds like that's kind of what's going on. It's like, you guys like what we're doing. You got to take a risk on something.
Yeah.
So, and it's because he said, I've already said too much in the post, which makes me feel like they're telling him, you can't share anything about this. It's like, how are you supposed to gain interest in it if you can't share anything about it?
Well, and I get their point too, is like, if they change their mind and decide we want to run with this, and he's already shared it, and they have no claim to it right now because they haven't done anything with it, any other studio could run with that idea if they wanted to and make their own version.
So that's them tying their hands. Like, you want to test and see if it can do something and see if this can make money. You got to let them run with it. You can't be afraid other studios are going to pick it up or something. It's
I agree. I get their whole point on not wanting it overly shared.
I sort of get it, but that's fear. The thing is all studios are doing. You would be the only studio that's like just letting people do their thing. That would set you apart. Other studios probably wouldn't, go along with something like that.
I don't know. Me personally,
I don't know anything about this business though, so there's that caveat. I might have no idea what I'm talking about.
Neither of us do, but at the same time, we're looking at it from an even more rare standpoint with common sense.
That's a great point.
No, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that your reaction was not as high on that. Like, I saw that, I was like, that looks amazing. What is that? And when I found out that this is the backstory of it, that like it's kind of being held up in like limbo, and he can't get them to move forward on it, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I would definitely watch a movie about that.
Well,
like,
you are a super fan of that type of genre, I would say. Like, you
anything
love
action
animation.
is cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say I love animation, but
action. Dude, you watch One Piece. It's like you loved the Spider-Man. Well, you like the Spider-Verse movies. You loved the My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well,
that's because it's Spider-Man.
You liked Marvel Zombies, although you did say it was despite the animation style. But
yeah.
You like a lot of animation stuff.
I can watch it. It's
maybe you're not a super fan.
I was gonna say, it's not like I look at something animated and I'm like loving it just because it's animated. Like, even the One Piece thing, I kind of just got into anime very recently, so can't even claim that.
Oh, is that a One Piece shirt?
It is.
Oh, I just realized. I just made that connection.
Yeah. I actually thought that's why you said that.
No.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I just got into that recently, so I really can't even claim that. But you are right. I do like animation. There's plenty of animated shows I enjoy. And there are a lot of things I think animation serves better than a live action adaptation. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, that looks so smooth. Like the act, like, her running up the arm and then like throws her at the tree and she ducks and he chops the whole tree in half. I was like, holy crap! Like, how strong is this guy? Like that's crazy. Like I don't know.
It was cool.
Seeing it was cool, especially knowing that that's like a bare bones version of what we would even get. The score would probably be better. The action, the animation in general would probably look a little bit better. There'd be some dialogue to go with it, which would probably make it more fun and, quippy and, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And I mean, there's a ton of people on the internet, like I said, that were, showing like an outpour of like, come on. And to be fair, this was following up, I don't know, maybe it was a year or less ago. There was stuff that came out of Warner Brothers that, Sony has done these Spider-Verse movies. Well, some of the lead artists, and I want to say the two lead writers, Lord and Miller, went to Warner Brothers with stills that were hand drawn for concepts. Do you know what Batman Beyond is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For a Batman Beyond movie in the style of the Spider-Verse movies. And the images just looked crazy. Like, it fits the aesthetic of Batman Beyond so well. And Warner Brothers shut it down. They did like, nah, we're not interested. And I'm like, how could you look at what those Spider-Verse movies are doing financially for Sony and look at how dope those images look, and then just listen to your fan base, how much they still love the old Batman Beyond animated series, and turn down a chance to profit off that movie? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
These people are so out of touch. It blows my mind.
I know. I don't get it. I guess when you get to a certain level, you just disconnect from those beneath you, or you see, maybe that's part of the problem, is they see them as beneath them.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I can almost.
I will tell the peasants what they will like.
I can almost understand it if it was like, well, it's a financial decision, but like I don't see a world where you don't profit from that. I just don't. I had a guy approach me at my job the other day who was asking me if I had heard. I don't know if you've heard this. I had not, and I can't, attribute any like factual like evidence or proof or anything to this. But what he was saying he heard is that Warner Brothers as a company is talking about splitting, and that they were kind of like hurting really bad, and that they basically had this idea that they were relying on the Superman movie to pull them out. And I told my coworker, I said, that's a terrible business idea. I don't care how successful that movie is. One movie is not pulling your entire company out of the water.
Yeah.
That's a terrible, terrible decision. So if that's what you were relying on, yeah, you're sinking anyway, or you're splitting, or whatever you're doing. But he said he heard something about they were going to split into like two individual branches or departments or companies or something to that effect.
So one will be Warner and the other will be Brothers?
I don't know, to be honest. I would assume one's going to be like DC.
Yeah.
Is going to be its own thing. And then everything else would be either still Warner Brothers or some...
What if Disney bought DC?
Dude, I don't know if that'd be legally allowed.
Can we... Okay, this might be a good transition, but I don't want to do that if you're not finished, like...
Oh, you talking about with the night thing? Yeah, I mean, I just mostly wanted your opinion on it, and to tell you that this dude who's been around forever doing great things is like having to run to the general public and leak things.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be one thing I was going to say, is that guy makes such a really good point.
Thank you.
This guy has been a world-class animator. I mean, he's achieved everything you could ever ask for an animator in your company, and he still has to beg. At the very least, companies should budget like money to give to creators who have done so much for their company, to be like, we don't know if this thing's going to work, but you can take this money that we budget just for things to test, or what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, just I get what you're saying. Just basically anyone who's been around long enough, done enough things for you, and like has a proven track record, like have a specific budget set aside where, like, if they come to you with an idea, as long as it's something you can even remotely believe in, especially if they can generate up that kind of like minute-long test footage to show you, like, hey, we have an aesthetic in mind. We have like an idea of how this would look, how it would move, how it would feel, and all this. Like, give them a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, good grief. Even if you put a cap on it, like, hey, if we fund this, under this kind of thing, the most we can give you is, I don't know, $5 million, which sounds like a lot, but I mean, in movie terms, that's not a ton.
I could do a lot with $5 million.
I could do a lot. I don't know if I could generate like a blockbuster movie with $5 million.
No, but an indie movie?
But an indie movie, yeah.
Dude, speaking of which, we watched Sing Street again the other day. Such a good movie.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. We just were like, we don't have anything to watch. What about Sing Street? Oh, dude, it still holds up.
It is a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I'll probably end up watching it again myself.
I'm also, with the whole time, Claire and I were like, I don't see how Chris didn't find this funny. This movie is hilarious. Don't get me wrong, it's heavy. It's drama, too. It's just as much drama, but it's really funny.
I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe going back and rewatching it, I would find it more fun. But like in the moment when I don't know what's coming next, a lot of that stuff caught me as more like depressing than funny. But I mean, there were funny moments. And like I said, talking to you about it, I really started to see the humor in it. I was like, yeah,
do you know why you feel that way? Your problem is you're not happy being sad.
Wow. That's deep.
You got the same problem as Connor in the movie.
Was that what his older brother said to him?
No, it's what the girl said to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, to transition, because I said, what if Disney bought DC? Before this, you showed me a movie trailer.
Wonder Man.
For Wonder Man. I mean, we'll react to that trailer, because I have no idea what that movie's about. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But they have a character from the Superman movie. Well, they didn't say what the character's name is, but it's the same actor. He looks exactly the same as the character in the Superman movie. We know that comics have crossed over with DC and Marvel in the multiverse before. And James Gunn, who is a Marvel director, is heading up, he's doing the new DC stuff. That seems a little bit, I feel like they're teasing a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest.
Even the mansion he was in looked like the same place that character was in the Superman movie.
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I don't feel confident enough of what I saw from that trailer to confirm or deny any of that.
Well, that's kind of how I feel.
Like, that trailer left me with nothing. Like, I was like there were a couple things that were kind of like funny, but I don't feel like I know at all what that show is going to be about.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
No, I have no idea what that show is going to be. Other than the original Mandarin, Trevor or whatever, is going to be in it.
That was really weird too.
I was like, okay.
I guess because, okay, here's my best guess is in the MCU, people are now making movies about superheroes because there's real superheroes, and they're making, like, I don't know, movies about these superheroes or whatever or something. So because that guy acted as the Mandarin, he wasn't the real one, he was just the actor. He's also being hired for this role, and so this is about this actor who wants to play Wonder Man in it, which is just a strange thing.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's really confusing too because Wonder Man is a character, and he does have powers and stuff, but there was nothing in that trailer. Like, I could understand if it's like, oh, maybe this is an origin story, but like, there's nothing in that trailer that even hints towards him getting powers and being anything other than an actor. It literally just looks like it's a show about a guy trying to get a part, and then he gets it, and now he's got to be this character.
Well, the confusing thing, there was the Mandarin was the confusing part about it, because I was starting to feel like, oh, so this isn't an MCU movie. It's just a movie about it's like a funny little movie, and I thought it was a movie, not a show. But I guess it's just a funny little story about a guy who wants to play a superhero.
Right.
But then they tied it in with the Mandarin from Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this is in the Marvel universe?
Yeah, it is. I do not understand at all. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that would be a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
I had not seen that until me and you watched it, and I was expecting more.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I keep letting Disney Plus get me. I always think, well, this could have some potential. Then I watch it and I'm like, well, it could have had.
You said that when we became friends too, and look where I got you.
Yeah. Now you're just making me look like a bum on camera every couple of weeks. No, I don't know, man. I don't want to say I'm kind of over the Disney Plus thing because I know the second I say that, they're going to put something dope out and I'm going to look like a hypocrite. But they got a lot of ground to make up for my goodwill. I'll say that. Like I'm going to give this a shot just cuz it looks weird enough to like it's just ambiguous enough where I'm like I have to know what this is at least.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And I'll say this. I mean, for what it's worth, the trailer doesn't look bad. It just doesn't give me anything. Like that 2.5 long minute trailer gave me as much information or maybe even less than the Black Knight test footage that we watched.
I would say even less.
Like, especially considering that is a final cut with dialogue and like multiple scenes and everything. Like, with the Black Knight, it looks pretty straightforward of like what this is.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a dude in a giant knight costume who's going to fight things. Like, okay, got it. Obviously, there'll be more story to it than that. But like, at least we know there will be a story.
Yeah.
I don't know what this dude is. I really don't.
We also know what genre it is. It's like action.
Yeah,
like
medieval action. This I have. I don't know. But again, I don't want to say I'm over it, especially because like you said, I did watch Zombies and I enjoyed it. That was a good. Did you finish it?
No, I'm just not into zombies. I mean, I see what you meant. I could see why you liked it. I watched the first episode and a little of the second, but I'm just not into zombies. I couldn't really get into it.
Okay, good. So then I can tell you how it ended?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Dude, they finally made Hulk cool again. That was like one of the most awesome things is you find out.
Well, now I'm sad I didn't watch it. Well, see, they should have led with at least a hint at that. Because
they do.
It starts off with characters that I care the least about.
You don't like Kate Bishop and Miss Marvel?
No. I don't care anything about them. And when
Riri
died, I was happy.
She didn't die.
Well, they made it seem like she died.
Well, they did. Yeah, she didn't.
Okay. So they killed off the only ones that had potential for me to like them.
So you do like Kate Bishop?
I said potential. I don't know anything about Kate Bishop.
Did you not watch the Hawkeye show?
No, I didn't. But here's the thing. These aren't the central characters that made people fall in love with Marvel.
They're not, but that's the point is those characters are zombies. Like, this is the group left to try and stop them. Like,
I guess that's fair, but I didn't get that from the thing. It's about, that almost in some ways makes it worse too, because I'm like, what the heck? My favorite ones are zombies? But
I mean, Spider-Man's not.
They didn't show Spider-Man in the beginning.
He doesn't come until
The only
later.
real cool one, it started to get cool when Blade showed up.
Blade was dope through the whole thing.
Yeah, and then
the Thunderbolts.
Yes, that's when it started to get cool. But I don't know,
dude. The ongoing like forever battle between Icarus and Captain Marvel.
I don't remember that.
That's in the first episode when they're traveling through the desert and these like giant bombs and you're like, what is hitting them?
Yeah.
And it's Icarus who cannot die, so he's like. He's fine.
Yeah.
But Captain Marvel is a zombie, and he's the only one that can go toe-to-toe with her, like, forever. And, like, he's constantly keeping her distracted out there in the middle of nowhere where she can't hurt anyone else. That was cool. That's a cool concept.
It is cool.
I don't know. Anyway.
Look, I'll say, I get why you liked it. I could see why it could be entertaining. But it just, I don't know. I don't like the... I also completely missed that. Like, when you explained that to me just now, I remember that happening. I remember that scene, and it just went over my head. Like, how much of an interesting concept that is. I think I was just focused on, like, okay, are these... is Riri going to die or what? I mean,
oh, my God. Anyway, as it goes on, at first they make you think Hulk is like the guy doing this. They keep showing Kamala Khan having like visions of him, like with the Infinity Gauntlet, like coming for her, and he looks like a monster. And then as like the show goes on, you find out it's the Scarlet Witch. She's doing all of this.
I got that far.
She is scary as crap because she keeps changing from like being really sweet and like trying to like get her on her side so that she can give her something. She has something, Kamala does. And Scarlet Witch wants it. And I forget what it is. But then she like turns into like legit like witch form and she looks scary as crap. And so anyway, then you find out like as time goes on, Hulk is the good guy. Hulk has been in this one spot on the ground with the gauntlet on doing something. I forget what he's doing. I forget exactly how it's explained what he's doing, but he's doing something to like somehow kind of like keep something from completely happening, like to basically kind of help prevent Wanda from just like taking over the Earth. And the Wanda is forming, that's why she's turning everybody into zombies. She's forming an army to go attack Hulk and overpower him to take the gauntlet from him to do something with it. I don't really remember what, because I only watched it the one time and I kind of binged it, but I'm assuming just, normal like domination stuff. And so he's like protecting it, and he's like standing in this like beam of power that's coming from the gauntlet like down to Earth or whatever. Well, the team that we've been following, well, what's left of them, shows up to like help Hulk when the army finally arrives. Dude, through the whole show, you've been like shown a zombie abomination, like how strong he is, and she sends him out first, and he just like slowly starts like gaining momentum, and then he just is like charging at the Hulk in the middle of this like desert scape, and Hulk like just like looks up and then punches him and like obliterates him. And then like waves of zombies start coming at him, and his punches, the force of his punches is like sending waves through these zombies, just like destroying them.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, this is so awesome. You made Hulk cool again. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. And then Spider-Man like has this thing where he like, they're trying to like surround him, and he like runs and then jumps over like a mob of them and shoots out like a bunch of webs and like flips and rips like 20 of their heads off at once.
That's cool.
Like just so, it was a great final battle. So anyway, all the cool stuff. And then they end up kind of getting like overwhelmed, like all of them. And you're like, what's going to happen? Like they're all dying. What is going to happen?
I can sense the PTSD in you right now.
It was kind of like, I was like, what is going to happen? And then like, you find out that Scarlet Witch is trying to save the world, not hurt it. And she needs whatever the heck Kamala had that she was trying to transfer over to somewhere in order to do it. And so they have this like back and forth, and she pretty much is like, you can't beat me. Like, you have to trust me. And so Kamala ends up giving her the thing. And then all of a sudden, she wakes up and she's in her bed, and her mom's like calling her. She's like, Kamala, Kate and Riri are here. Y'all are going to hang out or whatever she said. And she like runs downstairs. She like hugs her mom. She like runs to the door and hugs Kate and Riri. And she's like, oh my gosh, like I miss y'all so much. And they're like, okay, like the classic, like I woke up from a dream thing. Mm-hmm. And they're like going down the street talking, and they're like, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to do this and I want to do that. And so they go get like, I think boba or whatever. And they're sitting at a little table out on the sidewalk, drinking it. And all of a sudden she like has this like glitch, and she looks up and she sees across the street, a zombie. Like all of a sudden everything turns back like red like it was, and she sees a zombie across the street, and she hears screaming, and she looks over, and Riri is standing in the road in her suit, fighting off zombies, and she's yelling to Kamala, she's tricked you. You're not, like, she says something, and then she, like, gets cut off, and Kamala's, like, back in the real world. So, like, it leaves it open for, like, oh, crap, did, like, Scarlet Witch just put, like, a thing on her to make her think that she's, because she, like, needs her power or something. So I guess she didn't kill her. She, like, put her in a hex like she did the people in the show, WandaVision, to make her think she's in, like, her normal life. But she like, saw through it for a second and saw that she's still in the middle of the zombie apocalypse thing. And Riri was alive. She was fighting off a horde and trying to get through to Kamala, and she did for, like, a second. Or it was just, like, PTSD, and it's not true, and Wanda fixed everything.
Interesting.
It was I liked it because it left it open either way. Like, if they wanted to do another one, they could realistically do it and explain it. And if they never touched it again, you could just be like, man, it's kind of like ominous. Like, she might not have fixed it, or she might have. It was really cool, and there was some cool action in it.
The action was definitely the best part.
It was the best part.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, the Blade versus Ghost fight was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So sweet.
And he really was one of the coolest characters through the whole thing. It is really a shame that they have not been able to get Mahershala Ali's Blade movie off the ground, because they're really wasting valuable time. He should have been in the MCU.
You think Blade is going to show up in Secret Wars?
Which one?
Any of them.
Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I think there's a better chance we see, what's his name again?
Superman?
No, yeah. The guy who was Blade, who popped up in...
Wesley Snipes?
Wesley Snipes, yeah. I think there's a better chance we see him again. Like,
I just meant the character Blade.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, he popped up in Daredevil, and not Daredevil, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, I didn't see that. I tried to watch it, but
that's right.
It just had too much language.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize Blade showed up, but I saw most of the the Chris Evans Human Torch.
Yeah. That was such a cool little misdirect.
Dude, I'm telling you though, this Wonder Man, despite the fact we have hit this TV six times.
Are we closer to it today?
I don't know. And every time we each keep looking at it like, is it going to fall? Anyway, for those of you who are listening, just watch. No, I'm just kidding.
True that.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh,
Wonder Man.
I really feel like they're trying to tease it super hard that they're going to do a DC Marvel crossover. That fact that why would they put that actor in Wonder Man? And like the mansion looks the same. Cause remember I mentioned this before, is like Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was like a huge hint about that they were going to start doing the multiverse in the MCU.
Well, so was the title.
What do you mean?
Multiverse of Madness.
Well, okay, but I mean, you know what I mean? The Spider-Man crossover. All right, I deserved that. It's funnier the longer you think about it.
I knew what you meant.
You know what I'm getting at, though. Like, James Gunn is now doing the DC, and then they put that guy in there. I don't know.
I'm not disagreeing. I put it like that. I'm not disagreeing. I see the threads. I do. And you weren't the only one to point that out. There were people on Twitter pointing that out, and I didn't know who they were talking about because, like I said, I had not watched the trailer, so I didn't know who the heck they were talking about. And then when you started freaking out, even I paused. I was like, I don't think I get it. Like, I thought you saw something that like made the whole trailer click for you. That was like, oh, and I was like, please tell me, I want to like it too. But then you were just like, remember the other thing we saw that we liked? There's a guy in this from that.
What's so funny about that is because I had so much confusion about the trailer, I could totally like empathize with how you must have felt in that. Like he got it.
Like for a second, I was like, oh, I missed something. That's what's wrong. I missed something. And so yeah, when you did that, that kind of threw me off. I don't know. We'll see. at this point, I cannot say I would be shocked one way or another. I would not necessarily be shocked if they did crossover or if they didn't. Because, I mean, when James Gunn took over DC, they asked him, what are the odds y'all would ever do a crossover with the MCU? And he said, never say never. I mean, he obviously didn't put like a time frame on it, but he said, never say never. And I think him and Kevin would be interested in doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, at some
That'd
point.
be sweet.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if now would be the time to do it.
It might be the time when Secret Wars comes out, though, depending on how Doomsday goes and how this next Superman saga goes.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say is like...
Dude, the whole Superman movie was about pocket dimensions.
Right. And apparently so is season 2 of Peacemaker. Yeah, Peacemaker. Yeah. Apparently has been a lot about that. I have not seen it, but it's apparently dealt a lot with that. And I know Marvel's been... multiverse-wise, like, yeah, now would kind of be the time, but, like, I just think if you do something like that, you need to get your... Respectively, DC needs to get their foundation out of the way. They need to build... They can't do the same mistake they did with Snyder and rush their foundation. They need to take a little bit of time, build a foundation. What's the point of doing a DC-Marvel crossover if half the characters from the DC side that you see crossover, it's your first time seeing them?
Could I add one argument to that? Unless you're not finished.
I'm not, but go ahead. Are
you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off.
No, I'll remember it.
Okay. Well, I forgot. No, I'm just kidding. The only reason it could work is because one of my favorite things about the new Superman movie is it's already an established universe. They're done with origin stories. This universe has already been around. It's kind of given you the idea of a foundation was already built. We just didn't quite see it. There's already the Justice Gang. There's already this going on. The multiverse could already be a thing, and we don't even know about it in this universe, and they could get away with it. So because they set it up that way, they could completely, and that could be like it could be like a springboard for whatever's next in the DCU. I think they could pull it off really well. But I also get your point. So you don't want to rush it, but there's a way they could do it.
I'll give you a counter argument as to why I don't think it would work. Not even necessarily just for the general public, but even for like you.
All right.
It's going to depend on how you answer this, though. Did you like Eternals?
I didn't really watch the whole thing. I kind of stopped watching. I didn't dislike it, but I just was like not super interested.
See, most people felt like, at best, most people felt that way. Most. Well, I wouldn't even say most. Most hated it. A good chunk of people felt that way, and a very, 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 very small minority like me enjoyed it, like a lot. I really liked it, and I kind of hate that the rest of the world didn't give it enough of a chance, and now we're not going to see those cool characters again. But that's besides the point. My point is, Eternals is my counter argument. The main problem with Eternals was you threw this big group of characters at audiences right after kind of like a bookend. And we're like walking into our new step of like the next phase of Marvel. And you threw this whole group at us and gave us like a movie where, and it was their origin. Like it had their origin in it. And people could not care about that many new characters all at once like that.
Yeah, they even had to explain that in the movie. Because they were like, where were you when Thanos was around?
Right.
You know?
Like, it opens the door for so many questions. Even one character, much less a group, opens the door for so many things. And if you cross over DC with Marvel, you'll need even more explanation because most normal people at this point in time will know Batman and Iron Man don't exist in the same thing. You know what I mean? Like there would need to be explanation. We don't even know who DC's Batman is yet. Like we don't even have a face for him. So, or a Wonder Woman. We have a Green Lantern, but we don't even know if Guy Gardner is going to be the Green Lantern for the DCU. Like they might go with one of there's like two other main ones that do Earth in the DC comics. What is it? Who's the one that Ryan Reynolds played in the movie?
He played Green Lantern.
No, but who? Do you know what his
he's like
his name, like the
I don't know. I don't know.
I know one of them's name is John because he was the one in the Justice League animated series.
I don't know. The only difference though between the Eternals and this is they're not throwing new characters at us. They're throwing
Hal Jordan.
Oh, okay. They're throwing DC characters that everyone already knows and loves. It's just assumed we don't know this specific one's background.
Right, but that's the thing though is, let's just for a second pretend you didn't even have the Superman movie, okay? And they decided to go ahead and do a crossover and put a Superman in it. It's like, yeah, we know who that is. We don't need his origin story or whatever, just like we didn't in his movie. We didn't need his origin story. But how am I going to be expected to care about this guy? I don't know a thing about him. I don't know anything about his relationship with Lois, which helped kind of humanize him in his movie. I don't know anything about his relationship with Lex, which kind of humanized him. His parents, which really humanized him. I don't know any of his morals or ideals or how he views Earth or people. Like, I'm not saying we need origin stories for all these characters. I'm just saying we need time with more of the big name ones to connect. Like, as an audience, connect with them somewhat before you try and jump into a giant multiverse, I don't even know, I guess still multiverse, crossover with like a whole other IP, if that makes sense.
That's fair, unless they do it in a really subtle, teasing kind of, hey, this is what's coming way.
Right, I'm cool with lead-ups. Yeah. That's fine. Because the other thing I was going to say is, that's only one part of my main argument. The bigger part of my argument is, because honestly, me personally, I could get over that. If it's written well enough, maybe I could connect with them even without having met them before. Cool with that.
Yeah.
My bigger argument is, Secret Wars right now is poised to be the biggest thing in cinema history. Like, it could very well be the biggest movie ever made. Not only in just scope and like size of cast and like what it's tackling, but also in money. Like, this could be the highest grossing movie of all time. I think you kind of ruin all of this momentum that you're kind of finally starting to build up. Like, you finally started getting audiences a little bit back in your good graces with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Now you got Doomsday coming up. People are super excited for Brand New Day. Daredevil season 2 looks like it's going to be a big deal. Like, you're ramping back up. I think by like throwing a DC crossover in there, you risk one of two things. Option one, it goes really, really well and people love it. And then you end on a lower note with Secret Wars, because it won't be, people will compare it to the DC crossover event. Or option two, it's bad and you just kill your momentum for Secret Wars.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen in Doomsday. I'm saying it could happen in Secret Wars. That's what I said earlier. It's like, maybe it's not the right time now, but it might be the right time when Secret Wars comes out. After we've had Doomsday and probably even a few more DC movies in the second season of Superman, like, the buildup might need to take a little bit longer.
I mean, for sure, but I guess my thing is, if they use Secret Wars to do a DC crossover, I think you're kind of stepping on what Secret Wars is already going to be, I think. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be like there for it. I'm there regardless. I don't care if you put Superman in the trailer. I'm there for it. But I don't know.
You're not wrong in your risks.
I just personally, even disregarding risk. I mean, even if like you knew it would be profitable on a level never seen, I think you're kind of. How many years ago at this point did they announce RDJ coming back as Doom? Was it 2?
I don't remember.
It's been.
I think it's been longer.
Has it been longer?
I think it's been like 3 years. Maybe even 4.
RDJ.
In a different universe, they might have announced it 20 years ago.
They did it. Oh, it's been 1 year.
What? Since they announced RDJ?
Year and a half. July 27th of 24.
No.
Yep. Comic-Con.
That's when they announced it?
It feels like it's been longer, doesn't it?
It feels like it's been way longer.
But regardless of even that, by the time Doomsday comes out, not even Secret Wars, Doomsday, it will have been a little over 2 years.
It's true.
So you will have had about a 2 year, 2.5, like going on 3 year, like role of like kind of building up the hype. We barely let you see anything about him. We showed you just his back in Fantastic Four. There's rumors. Why is it RDJ? And there's all. I mean, you're doing a good job. Like, you're building the hype back up. my thing is, I feel like you waste all of that by making this more about a DC Marvel crossover than making it about Doom versus the Avengers. Because to me, you remember how what me and you talked a lot about with like Endgame and stuff was that the most disappointing thing about it was like they didn't give us some of those like intimate, like what would have been really emotional, good, closed circle storytelling moments for like a character like Hulk or even Tony. I mean, they kind of did give it to Tony with the whole like him sacrificing himself, but I don't know. It really didn't feel. I feel like even that could have been done better. We're not going to get into all that, but I'm just saying like they missed out on some opportunities with some of that.
Sure.
Hulk's the best example, I think,
Yeah.
or maybe Thor.
Hulk and Thor are definitely the best two examples.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
But I think they can really make up with the Tony, like anything that was left on the table with Tony, I think they can really possibly make up for with him being Doom if they handle it in a way that like we've talked about, like a lot of the rumors are speculating that like he is I heard a newer one that this Tony, who is Doom, will be the Tony from the universe in Endgame where they go back in time to New York to steal 3 of the things at once. And that, you remember, he has a heart attack in the hallway or in the lobby. He goes back to look at like the security footage and like he's talking to Jarvis and Jarvis is telling him like there was someone in you. And he's like, that's impossible. And they start digging into it. And then he sees the footage from up top in the penthouse of him sitting in the corner, like flicking Ant-Man onto him, and then sees the 2 Caps fighting. And then that's what opens his eyes to the multiverse thing, but like that early in that timeline, back when Avengers 1 happened. And so instead of putting all his time into being Iron Man and putting a suit of armor around the world and all the stuff that led to Ultron and blah, 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 you get him being like obsessed with breaking open the multiverse and like figuring out why these other versions of these heroes that he knows came to that universe to like.
I don't like that nearly as much as the Doom variant.
I don't like it as much, but my point is the brilliance of his casting in this role is that it's almost infinite what you could do with why he became Doom.
That's very true.
Because like that still makes sense. Hey, you tried to come kill me. Why? And now I'm going to come kill you. And well, to be honest with you, part of that theory, to go a little more in depth with it, is that because of them taking the Infinity Stones from that timeline, it ruined his timeline. And so now he's coming back to get theirs and like kill theirs for revenge, basically, because it ruined everything he could have had, like a family and all that stuff in his timeline.
But they went and put the stones back.
Well, that's part of the theory too, is that the way it fell, I'd have to re-find it. I could probably show it to you at some point, but
Loki took the Tesseract from that timeline.
Well, that's
something that Cap can't undo.
Well, and that's also something that they were talking about, is like when Cap goes back to that timeline to put the stones back, then he ends up staying there and becoming old. They're saying that, and supposedly there's already been rumors that there have been scenes filmed at that house where him and what's-her-face are dancing. They're saying that
I've heard that
that's where Doom goes first.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But is he not Victor Von Doom then? Is he a Tony, or is he
Well, I think that part of the theory still holds true, is that he was always going to be Doom, but in like, you're one thing away in any of the universes from him becoming Doom. Like, the version of him that we've been following just happened to be on the perfect trajectory to stay Iron Man. But that, like, really, in all he's supposed to be Doom.
Wow. So that even in the version that you mentioned just a second ago, that could still be the case in the version where he was always meant to be Doom.
Right.
So he's still a Doom variant in that universe.
Right. Not saying that he's not Doom or like wasn't meant to be or whatever. Like that could still hold true. Yeah. Just that like the thing in that universe that kind of knocks him off that path is that he finds out that other versions of them came back, and like he thinks they tried to kill him, and then it ruins his timeline and all. Anyway,
isn't that Isn't that poetic irony that the only way the good Tony Stark could actually save the universe was to go back and turn himself into Doom?
Yeah.
Which means he could never not be Doom.
Right.
Even if he wants to be
Again,
good Tony Stark.
That's good closed circle storytelling. So like this is what I'm saying. Like, you've built all this up and there's so many theories out there. And I will say, and I think I've told you this, when they first announced it 7 years ago.
Yeah. That went over my head for a second.
Come on, please laugh. Come on. When they first announced it, I legitimately was not happy. I was like,
me neither. Yeah.
Seriously? What a cop out. But then, like, the more time has gone on, and I've heard, like, what the Russo brothers have kind of hinted at, and I've seen how seriously Robert is taking this, and, like, hearing the stories from actors on set from, like, things they filmed, and then now hearing theorists come up with, like, why it has to be him as Doom, the more I'm like, dude, what have we missed in those other movies that, like, breadcrumbs that maybe were intentionally or even unintentionally laid that the Russo brothers are going to, like, make the most out of to be like, this was always the writing on the wall and you missed it. Like, that's what I'm going to love about this movie so much is, like, finding out what in the world made you this way.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be so cool to me.
I think I heard a rumor that we're getting a teaser of Doomsday during the Super Bowl.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard either that or Spider-Man Brand New Day. Which I think that one's more likely just because it comes out first.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with either one.
That's true, but I don't want to believe it cuz here's the thing. I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man Brand New Day and I'm looking forward to the teaser, but I could go up until summer not seeing a trailer and I would be fine with it. For Spider-Man Brand New Day, don't get me wrong, I want to see a trailer. With Doom, just because of what you just described. Like, I kind of have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen in Spider-Man, except for the fact that I don't know how it's going to tie in with the multiverse and Doom and stuff. So that'll be fun. But the Doomsday thing is like, this could go anywhere, and I'm so dying to see RDJ as Doom, like how you've described. Like, I really want that teaser. It's like, I want something, you know?
Yeah. Dude, don't get me wrong, I do too, but here's the reason.
Don't say it, Chris. If you don't say it, it's not true.
Here's the reason that I'm more okay with the Spider-Man one than the Doomsday one. The Doomsday one's just going to make me mad. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I already know what they're going to do. Because I've been through this already with Endgame. They know they got us all. They got us. And they know they do. This is the most hype Marvel has had since Endgame, I think. Well, Endgame or like No Way Home. Give or take. You pick. But this right now is the most hype they've had in some years.
Yeah.
And they know it. So what do you think, even a theatrical trailer, much less a teaser trailer, our first look at Doomsday is going to be? It's going to be nothing. It's going to be a bunch of close-ups, facial like reactions to certain things, an explosion here or there that you could barely tell where it's even happening. Maybe a couple glimpses of like, oh, there's that character. Oh, there's that character. We will not see Doom. We will not get a voiceover from Doom. We will not even see the hem of his cape or the edge of his metal mask. I promise you. They won't do it. And you know why?
You're taking go ahead. Finish your thought.
Because they hate us. Okay, I'm done.
You're taking I forget the phrase I'm looking for, but you're taking MJ's advice from No Way Home, which is if you expect disappointment,
you can never be disappointed.
Exactly.
No, I mean, but for real, when I'll tell you why I feel that way. When Infinity War's trailer came out, it blew me away. It was the coolest thing I had ever seen. All these characters that we've been following for a decade, and they're working together. I'll never forget the scene. I didn't even know it was on the planet Titan. I didn't care. But just the scene where Star-Lord kind of flies through the air with his boots, and then when he lands, Doctor Strange is like forming platforms for him to run on, and you find out later it's a scene where they're fighting Thanos. Again, I didn't even care. It was just cool to see Star-Lord and Doctor Strange working together. It was cool to see Spider-Man interacting with these characters. Like, that was all really cool to me. And then when Endgame came out, or was coming out, I should say, and we knew how Infinity War ended, and you had to spend a year in like suspension of like, but they're all gone. They're all dead. Like, what are we gonna do? And there was theories and theories and theories of how who's gonna bring who back and how we're gonna do it and this and that. And then the Endgame trailer comes out, and it's nothing. It's nothing. It's them in some suits, and they even CG out certain characters so you don't know who's standing where and this and that, and they do things to purposely trick you and mess with you. And you know they showed the quick little glimpse of Ant-Man shrinking down, and it's in the scene where Hulk had just brought everyone back, but like then Thanos is like bombarding their thing with bombs or whatever, and you see an explosion and Ant-Man shrinking down. It's like, okay. And I mean, it's like that fast. Blink and you miss it. Like, and they did that for every trailer they put out. There was always all this hype of, oh, we're going to see some. And the trailers, they were all pretty much the same clip. There was one trailer that was just old clips from old movies.
Yeah.
I was like, how is that a trailer for a new movie? That's mini trailers for old movies. That's not fair. So my thing is, after I saw that and I saw how much they purposely changed in the footage to mess with people, and I know why they do it. I get it. It's no fun for them to have spent, 2-3 years working on this film with all these people, drumming up all this hype, and then you put out a trailer and these YouTubers who have gotten so good at this analyze it and pick it apart, and they can tell you the whole movie now. I get it. But it's also not fair to the people who don't do that we have to watch a trailer knowing, well, this is probably all not even in the movie. Like, there's scenes in the trailer that aren't in the movie, and
I'm still mad that we never got Hulk running in Wakanda.
Another good example.
Yeah.
And that was Infinity War.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, they mislead, and I know why they do it, and I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. There's too much leaking going on nowadays, but,
And I'm leaking.
That was my Grinch.
I don't think he made that noise once in the whole movie.
Sure he did. Bah. Bah, bah. I'm sure he said that.
That's a multiverse we need to see.
The
Scrooge
Grinch and
the
Scrooge,
Grinch.
yeah. The Scrooge who stole Grinchmas. Yeah, but I don't know. That's why, honestly, I'd be actually more okay with the Spider-Man trailer, because I feel like it'll be more true to what we'll actually see.
Sure.
And they'll probably show more.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm itching for anything Doomsday, but I know how they're going to do. They're going to keep it so close to the vest. Dude, I got to say, one of the craziest bits of movie news, and I mean absolute craziest bits of movie news, is that there have been 0 leaks.
Yeah.
0 leaks from Doomsday.
I know.
That is crazy to me. That's crazy.
I agree, because we're getting them from Spider-Man
left and right,
new day, all
left
over the place.
and right.
I feel like that's on purpose.
It is.
They're like, we're gonna leak this movie.
We're
really
gonna feed you this, so you don't think about this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude.
No, I think it's the opposite. We're gonna feed you this, so you wonder why there's no leaks from this movie.
That's probably true too.
Yeah,
because some of those leaks from the Spider-Man set look professional.
Yeah,
they look like movie poster-esque leaks.
Yeah,
I'm like, good grief, that suit looks awesome.
Yeah.
And that's just a picture. He's just on the street. That's not even with like movie stuff done to it.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see him web swinging in that, dude.
Yeah,
the practical. They did more practical web swinging shooting the other day. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. That's gonna look.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be like people are gonna complain about it, like they did with Daredevil. That they complained for years that he didn't use his billy clubs to swing, and then the second he did, they were like, "That looks so dumb. Why is he swinging?"
Yeah,
because you begged for them to do it.
I guess the Hulk was really pissed about it.
That look dumb. Why are you swinging?
Oh, Hulk
so many stairs.
Yeah. Dude, I don't care what you say. That was hilarious. When it just the clip randomly just shows him walking down all the stairs, and he just goes,
"Oh, so many stairs."
I loved that line. It was hilarious. But you didn't think Sing Street was funny either, so no.
It's not.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I'm sorry. I'm a Debbie Downer.
No, that's okay.
So what else? I showed you the clip from Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Well, it was pretty kind of cool. They
granted,
didn't show anything about
I was
the
going to
story.
say it's out of context, but the trailer kind of gives you the general idea what the story is. It's another heist, which thank the Lord. You said you never saw the second one.
Yeah.
I want you to watch it, honestly, so we could talk about it. Because maybe I have a feeling just how things typically go for us. I'm going to sit here and tell you you'll hate it because I hated it. And then you're going to go watch it and be like, dude, I loved that movie. Like, I don't know what you didn't like about it. Like, I can't wait to talk to you about this because that was a great movie. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh. And then you're going to talk me into liking it. After I've spent like a decade hating it.
Just like you talked me into hating The Last Jedi, you know?
I didn't talk you into that.
Well, you contributed.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, do you remember the Mega Media Nerds episode when I said I liked it?
Yeah.
That episode contributed to it. I mean, it was that mixed with a whole bunch of things. I for the whole time, it was denial, but it was partly like, I felt like it was getting more hate than it deserved, although people were making good points. But then I went back and watched it again, and like with the points in mind, and I was like, yeah, this is awful. This is really bad.
Well, fair enough. But yeah, no, I kind of want you to watch that before the new one comes out because I want you to hate it with me. It's not good. And I was so excited too because they brought Daniel Radcliffe in, and I thought that was like a funny nod because like they're magicians and he was a wizard.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. And
Multiverse.
yeah. And I don't know. It was so dumb. They took like what I loved about the first one was they took real like street and stage magic and kind of made it like plausible that they could have pulled some of this stuff off with those tricks because they were going up against people who were not thinking in terms of like magicians. So they had to go get like a guy who busts magicians and like tells their tricks, and they had to go get, you know, like you even find out, which spoilers, I guess, for Now You See Me, it's like 30 years old. They had to go, Mark Ruffalo's character, like you find out at the end that like he's also a magician, and
he was the magician.
He was the magician, like pulling the strings, which actually
that was a great twist.
Some people thought that was kind of like cop-out-ish, but like I actually loved it because it made even more sense. Like, what do magicians do? They misdirect.
Yeah. He
was misdirecting the FBI the whole time. I thought that was brilliant.
I agree.
That was awesome. But anyway, I loved that movie because of that. The second movie, first of all, they changed some of the characters. They took Isla Fisher out and put in some other girl. I forget who she was. Put her in. She was okay, but
wait, she was the same character, but a different actress?
No, it was a different character.
Okay.
They even like acknowledge it in the movie that she's not there anymore. So they take her out. So it's her and Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, and
Dave
Franco, yeah. And they're the like four horsemen in that one, but they're really not because they broke up and then they kind of reconvened for that movie. Daniel Radcliffe is like the
Harry Potter.
Yeah. What was the old guy in the first one who plays Alfred in the
Morgan? Oh, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. He's kind of like the Michael Caine of this. Like he is like the bad guy sort of, but he like hires them to go do a thing. They like get kidnapped through like hypnosis. Like you find out Woody Harrelson's character has like an identical twin who's like a better mentalist than him. He does like It's just, it took the things that made the first movie great and like cranked them up to an almost cartoony level that I was like, come on, that would never happen. So that's why, like the clip I showed you, granted, there's no context to it just in that clip, but I liked it because, so what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting from this third movie is that there's going to be two groups. There's going to be the Four Horsemen, which actually the Four Horsemen, because they brought Isla Fisher back, and this new group of like young kids that's like coming up, and you know, they seem like real cocky and stuff in the trailer, and it's going to be really cool to see. Like it almost feels like it's going to be like two schools of magic, like a newer take and an older take going at each other, real cocky and young, real arrogant, and like we've been there, done that, like kind of egos clashing, but like have to work together to pull off this heist where they're stealing from Rosamund Pike, who I don't know what kind of character she's playing, but she's got this like giant diamond and they're trying to steal it. And the scene that they released, the clip that I was showing Daniel before we started was they're like in their little room at their headquarters, and they're just like going back and forth, like showing off, and then like calling each other out. No, I know what this is. Like I just loved that. Like I do love magic too. So like part of the fun of watching these movies is seeing them do these tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also think it's really cool that the actors, at least in the first one, I don't know as much about the second one. In the first one, like they took it upon themselves to learn some sleight of hand stuff and like to actually pull a lot of this off without a lot of camera tricks. Now, granted, there's some things. I mean, stopping the rain that's a little much, but
it's not that hard to do.
Well, it's true.
The government controls the weather, dude. It's really easy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to that. Are you looking forward to that at all, or
Not really.
No?
I mean, I liked Now You See Me. It was cool, but I'm not like crazy about it.
I love a good
Some people
heist.
are like fanatics over that movie, but it's good. I mean, it's
Yeah,
entertaining.
some weirdos.
Yeah, some losers. Anyways, I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Probably like an apology to me for calling me a weirdo.
Have you ever seen Tower Heist?
I guess not. Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Have I told you my theory about Tower Heist?
No,
That it's in the MCU?
really?
You know why?
Why?
Do you remember? So you know who's in that movie?
Ben Stiller,
And
Eddie Murphy,
oh
Hawkeye from MASH.
my gosh, really?
Yeah, he's the villain.
Let me think if I'm thinking of the
I
right
don't know
movie.
the actor's name. I'm trying to think of who else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. All right.
I don't know the other actor's name who like backs out.
No, this is the guy I'm talking about, Michael Pena.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
do you?
And he's like the same character.
Yeah, and do you remember in Ant-Man when he's telling Paul Rudd to tell T.I. and the other guy like what he's done, and he's like, I'm not going to talk about my crime, and he tells him how he like broke into this dude's penthouse and did such and such and such, and then drove his Bentley into his swimming pool.
Oh my gosh.
It's literally what they do in Tower Heist.
That's crazy. That's amazing. I love that crap, dude. But I mean, how would they ever? They gotta do something with that. I mean, that would be like Ben Stiller has to show up in Secret Wars. He has to be like, I'm not a superpowered person, and then they just blow him up.
Yeah,
They should at least put those characters in the Deadpool movies.
I watched that movie like pretty late in my like MCU watching phase of life. It's like I had seen Ant-Man multiple times. So when they did that, I was like, God, that sounds familiar. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And he's in. So I was like, that's a cool like
is-
I take full credit for that theory, by the way.
Yeah.
I have not seen that anywhere else.
This is groundbreaking here. We need to title this episode "The One Theory You Will Never See About the MCU Anywhere Else."
Yep. And then people are gonna think that's what the whole episode's about.
That's right.
But just like the Endgame trailer, we lied to you.
trying out.
Yes.
I was trying out a villain laugh. Give me your best villain laugh.
I just did.
That was pretty good. That's a good one.
Mine are more like cackly, like unhinged, like Joker laugh, not like rich. Sorry, guys, I poked him in the side. he does that involuntarily whenever you do that. Oh man.
I wish I actually did do that involuntarily.
No, you don't.
That's true.
You'd never be able to go anywhere in public. Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, speaking of public, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to throw this out there. And I'm sorry. Again, I know I'm Debbie Downer. I get it. I hate the fair.
Oh, yeah.
I hate
it too.
I hate the fair so
Yeah.
much. Okay, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people who like to go to the fair. Good for you. Go have fun. I hate it.
I hate it too.
I have to go every year because my mom and my wife like going, and I just honestly don't feel comfortable sending them out there alone.
It's a good way to get around that.
Yeah. We I think we've mentioned it before, but we're in South Carolina. I don't know about any other state's state fair, but I know ours has had like gun incidents like the last 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
There's always some crap. Like it's gotten to the point now where if you show up after like a certain time, they ID you, everyone going in. Like you have to have your ID with you. And if you don't have an ID, you have to have a legal guardian with you. Like that's how bad it's gotten. And even that hasn't stopped anything. Because when we were there the other night, my wife almost witnessed a fight between a man and a woman.
Wow.
Because a man decided he was just going to cut the whole line of people that were trying to get freaking fair food and walk up to the front. And the woman, I guess he thought she wasn't going to say anything because she's a girl. I don't know. But she started arguing with him. And he like got back in her face and was like, I'll fight you. Like, I'll beat you right now. And like 6 cops rolled through on bikes.
And they didn't do anything?
No, they were looking for him. He went away. Like they got called because of him, and he had already walked away, I guess, because he knew they were coming.
I thought you were saying they were riding by as it was happening. They were just like, you better not get mixed up in that.
Yeah. Why do I do this every year? No, they were looking for him.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was crazy,
I'm with
dude.
you. On top of that, it's expensive. The food is overrated.
Way too expensive.
I mean, some of the food is good, but it's overrated, especially for how much it costs.
I'll say it's overpriced.
Nate Bargatze, yeah, that's fair. Nate Bargatze has a joke about how like he can't ride rides at the fair because he's like he gets on it and the first thing he thinks is this ride was on the interstate an hour ago.
No, for real. I don't ride anything there.
Yeah, the rides are terrible. I mean, it's
the food, like, don't get me wrong, it's awful for you. It's a once in a year thing, so it's like, okay, it's neat to go do, but like, I won't call it overrated because I don't think it's rated very highly. But like,
dude, the food is what everyone always talks about.
Yes,
they're always like, you got to go get the fair food.
Yeah, but
the elephant ears, the funnel cakes.
I don't think anyone's under any impression that it's like, high end. I think it's just like it's junk, and they know it's junk, but it tastes pretty good. So people are like, you got to go get that donut dog.
I guess so, but they talk it up like it's gourmet. It's like, the fair is here. We got to get our elephant ears.
I do love an elephant ear. Well, a funnel cake, but...
A funnel cake or an elephant ear are good in some contexts, but there's nothing special about the fair ones.
No, but I mean, that's like a place you're guaranteed to get one.
Yeah, but you can make an elephant ear. I mean, it's...
Who's going to do that?
I got an elephant in my backyard right now.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I did have an emu back there one time.
Really?
Have I never told you that story?
That sounds terrifying, actually.
I've never told you this?
No.
Okay, so I woke up one morning. It was summer break. I was in high school. My brother comes knocking on my door, wakes me up, and he's like, hey, I got to go. There's an ostrich in our front yard. I'll see you later. And I'm like, what? So I walk outside and look out. There's a huge emu in our yard. It wasn't an ostrich. And animal control is there. This lady's like blocking him off, doing this as he's like trying to walk around. And I'm just like, did I actually wake up? And a few minutes go by that he escaped from somewhere, and they come up to the front door. They're like, hey, we got to keep him trapped in your backyard because we got a machine we got to go get that'll carry, not a machine, but like a certain type of trailer that they can carry him away in. So we brought our dogs inside, and there was an emu chilling out in the back of our backyard for like 4 hours or longer. We were just sitting there. Every time we'd look outside, there's just an emu just walking around. It was crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you go pet it?
No. They told us it was like, yeah, its talons will get you. It'll dig into your flesh.
I would have been like, prove it. You go touch it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I'm not. I don't even
pictures or it didn't happen.
I don't even like tiny birds.
Yeah.
Much less ones that are bigger than me.
A lot bigger.
No, you've never told me that story. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think we have pictures of it.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is, now you see me, now you don't. You gotta watch it.
Excuse me.
That sounded like a ghost. Very apropos for this time of year. What was the other thing? Oh, speaking of ghosts, Wake Up Dead Man.
Oh.
getting a very, 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 very limited theatrical release, much like the last one.
Yeah.
You gonna go see it?
Not in theaters.
Oh, come on, man. You're letting me down.
Well,
letting me down.
In that case, I definitely won't.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try and go see it that weekend.
Okay.
You want to go with me? I'll get your tickets.
After that whole thing. I admire your persistence. What weekend is it again?
The weekend of Thanksgiving, like that. I think it comes out on Thanksgiving, I think, or that Friday. But I work. I'm obviously off for Thanksgiving. I have to work Friday, but I would be going Saturday.
I'll think about it.
Heck yes, I'll take that as an absolutely gonna happen.
It might. I have to figure out what's going on with everything. So yeah.
But yeah, so on that, the reason I brought that up, I do have a little bit of news with it. Again,
I got to talk to you about one thing before we're done. Just remind me of the thing.
Okay.
Just tell me. I don't know how to.
Just tell me you love me, and it'll remind me.
I texted you about it, but yeah. Just tell me what you're going to tell me, and then I'll.
Okay. So Ryan Johnson was apparently interviewed recently and said, which this is completely contradictory to what I remember him saying not long ago about these movies. I could be wrong or misremembering, but apparently he said that he would love to do these for the rest of his life. He said he could do these perpetually as far as he's concerned, because each one feels so different and fresh because he's mostly working with a new cast each time, but just the same detective, new setting, kind of new themes each time. You know, the first one was like your classic, like spooky mansion, and then you go to like a tropical Greek island, like very modern, and then this one looks like it's going to be more like spooky, like spooky.
You sound like Adam Sandler a little bit.
Spooky! Give me my cookie. This seems like it's going to be like really scary because it's like graveyard related. I don't know if they're going to be in another mansion or what, but so I guess that's kind of what his vibe is on it. I thought I remembered him saying that like he didn't want to do them for forever. But I'm glad that he maybe seems to have had a change of heart, or that maybe I can't remember things very well. What's your take on that? Do you think that the Knives Out franchise is something that could and should continue for a while, or do you think 3 is good?
That's hard to say. It's kind of one of those things where like when Mission Impossible 3 had come out, I was starting to think, okay, they've probably done it all at this point. And then 4 completely blew me away. And then from that point on, after 5, I was like, I hope they never stop making these movies.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those things, but I'm not really like a huge murder mystery fan like you are. But the first 2 were great. And this one looks really cool too. And it's like murder mystery has been a genre that has been around for centuries, and it's still something people absolutely love.
Still relevant, at least.
Yeah. I see no reason why, just because it's technically the same detective, you're kind of making a new murder mystery movie every single time. So I don't see why they couldn't go on forever. And if people like them, then yeah.
That's fair.
You know? Mission Impossible to me was like, it was a specifically certain themed type of action movie, and technically it was the same character, Ethan Hunt. But it wasn't until 4 when they started making them continuous. But it always felt like it was a fresh new action movie, which you know what the theme is going to be. It's going to be an impossible mission.
Right. Like espionage, thriller, action. Yeah. One man against the world.
Yeah.
Like John Wick.
No.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm not into it.
Who do you think wins in a fight, John Wick or Ethan Hunt?
That severely depends on a lot of things. Are we talking? I mean, does he know? Do they know about this fight beforehand, or do they just show up on each other?
Yeah, they know, like they're meeting up to fight.
Then Ethan Hunt wins because he's gonna plan a way out of it. He's the kind of person who, if he can plan beforehand, even if the plan goes south, he's got a way around it. But if it's something that pops up out of nowhere, like he's not expecting to fight John Wick could probably win. Like if Ethan Hunt had a plan to do something and John Wick showed up in the middle of the plan, John Wick would probably win.
That's crazy. That you think that Ethan Hunt could beat him in any scenario is crazy.
Dude, I mean, come on.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, Ethan Hunt
I figured you'd pick him regardless. I'm actually kind of happy that you're giving John Wick the credit that, like, under certain circumstances, he could probably win. Like, that's fair.
No, not even he could probably. Like, he would wreck him. But the thing about Ethan is he has done things. He's, like, died several times. And, like, he's done the impossible things, like, that no one would ever do. And, like, every time in all of his missions, things get worse and worse and worse and worse to the point where you're like, how is he going to get out of this? And he gets out of it. That's the thing he's got going for him.
To be fair, that's the power of Scientology.
It's so true.
It's the power of Scientology and having one middle tooth.
For anyone who's never noticed his middle tooth, you got to just look up a picture of Tom Cruise smiling. He has got one tooth perfectly centered in his mouth. It's, Claire calls him Middle Tooth Tom.
Middle Tooth Tom. Hey, that Middle Tooth has done some amazing things.
That's true.
Amazing things.
Very happy for it.
Okay, so what was the last thing you wanted to talk about?
All right, so that's it, folks. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. This episode was sponsored by Victor's Vests. You want to go ahead and plug them?
Anyway.
Oh, sorry. Wesley's Waistcoats.
That's kind of cool. We should start that company now.
Well, we're not named Wesley.
So what?
Fair enough.
I'm associated with the Wesleyans, who were around even before the Baptists.
Dang.
Even before the Catholics, really. But I'm not trying to trigger any Catholics out here.
And I can throw up West Side.
So anyway, about like 6 episodes ago, I don't know, a long time ago, it was the one we did at your house.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to figure out what movies we wanted to go see in public. I mean, in the theaters.
Public.
I didn't even say it. Like,
No, you didn't. I just.
You said that like how Josh would on Drake and Josh.
Public.
Emphasis.
So, anyways,
What's up?
one of the movies. What is happening right now? Oh man. And one of the movies we decided to not see in theaters was Karate Kid Legends because we had heard really bad reviews about it, that it just was completely pointless and useless. And so it finally came out on Netflix, and I watched it thinking it was just going to stink. And I was pleasantly surprised. It actually was kind of good, but that's only because my expectations were so low. And this is, again, a promotional thing that they did. Well, it's partly promotional, and partly it did feel a little rushed. There were some things that were stupid about it that if they had done a little more time, they could have really made something cool about it. So, the first thing that I noticed when the big trailer came out, like the theatrical trailer, is like, this is kind of dumb. It's just a carbon copy. So he's a kid moving to a new city with a single mom who faces this bully, and he has to fight the bully in a tournament. It's like the same exact story. And I was hoping for that. And I don't know if you remember, but one of the things that I said that people seemed to imply about it was there were no tie-ins to Cobra Kai, and it came out just as Cobra Kai ended. That's actually not true. So, anyways, what was I going to say? So the movie starts off, and it's pretty much a carbon copy, and I'm like, all right, I see where this is going. I like the way they did it because it was a new style, like the editing and stuff. It felt like a new style. It was a little bit rushed as the plot moved forward, but then things started to change where it was becoming a more unique type of thing. So he's already a kung fu student in China,
Right.
And his mom moves. He's really, really good at it. This is the part that's stupid and doesn't make sense. There's this fighter he had a past relationship with the girl that he's likes in New York, and so that fighter wants to show him up, and he like beats him in school with like no hands. He's like, I'll keep my hands in my pocket, even though this guy's kung fu is like really really good, and this guy is just kind of like a boxer, like MMA. He's a little MMA. It just seems like, why did he lose to him? And also, this is the same story. We've seen this before. But then what happens is we hit the TV again. Then what happens is the kid, I like the kid as a character. He's a fun character.
Mm-hmm.
The lady's dad owns a little pizza shop, and he got in trouble with this gang that he didn't pay back. So the kid goes to the dumpster to like throw something away at the pizza place, and the dad is being confronted by these gang guys, and his dad is a boxer. So the dad's trying to fight, but the gang is overwhelming him, and this kid just like goes in to help and wrecks. It is an amazing fight scene. It is so cool. It's like Jackie Chan like level choreography, but with this new, he definitely has a lot of Jackie Chan influence, because he does this thing where he's like where he's about to fall and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So a lot of Jackie Chan type stuff in it. And obviously Jackie Chan is his mentor here. So, and they allude at the beginning of the movie that Mr. Han and Mr. Miyagi, their ancestors go way back. So they knew each other, and they had actually met in previous times, but it was not really like they had to meet and go away a lot. Yeah. So they weren't, that's why Miyagi never mentioned him. They explained that part really well. So then what happens is, but this also, that fight scene also made me be like, how could he lose to that kid? How is that kid such a threat to him? It didn't make any sense. That was the part that sucked. But then what happened is the boxer dad was like, hey, I got this fight coming up. I need to pay off these guys. I need to learn how to fight like you. Because if I go fight and win this money, I can get, so can you teach me kung fu? And I'm like, that's interesting. Now this is reversed roles. The new kid is teaching, and that dynamic was really cool as he was teaching him kung fu and the guy was teaching him boxing. That part was really interesting. They should have made that the central story.
We talked about that day in my house.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I had not seen it, but I watched kind of a spoiler review, and I was telling you
that's right.
that I thought that maybe would have been an interesting place to take the movie. So I agree with you completely.
Well, that the reviews and the people who hated the movie, I don't think gave that part of it as much credit as it deserved, because it was really cool, really unique. And the fight scenes were awesome in this movie. I mean, that was the best part of it. So then the same thing happens. He signs up for this tournament. It's like they couldn't decide whether they wanted the boxing plot or the tournament to be the main plot. Mm-hmm. And it's like they should have just gotten rid of the tournament altogether. But then to win this tournament, Mr. Miyagi shows up to Daniel LaRusso's house. He's like, he needs help if he's going to win this tournament. This is the part that didn't make sense to me is, we've seen Cobra Kai, and we've also seen Karate Kid and stuff. Like the kung fu moves that this kid is doing are way beyond anything Daniel LaRusso ever did. Okay, I'm sorry. I love Daniel LaRusso as a character, but even in Cobra Kai, his karate doesn't look that great.
Well, can I also say, before you continue, just on that note, and I'm not going to derail, I just want to add, I think a lot of what martial arts is too is the mentality. And I think maybe what they were trying to do is more be like, well, he could bring like a different kind of mentality to his training. Physicality, yeah, it sounds like the kid was doing okay, but maybe that's the route they were going with it.
It was a little bit of that, but it was more like they were hyping it up like Daniel's this master who can really help Lee learn something. I'm like, no, Lee needs to teach Daniel how to fight. I mean, it's his martial arts looked so good. It was like awesome. Anyways, this is another part that doesn't make sense. I mean, the team up was cool. The way it happened, it's like, oh, this is kind of neat. But then they're teaching him how to fight and stuff. And the whole time, Mr. Han like basically begs Daniel to come. And he's like, you will come. And then the whole time Mr. Han is fighting him on. It's like, no, that's not how you should teach him how to do it. No, you don't. I'm like, why did you invite him if you didn't want him to? It was just
kind of dumb.
But they were trying to create this comical, because Lee was getting pushed around and beat up between them as they were arguing. And it was funny. The whole thing is it felt rushed. There were all these really funny ideas, these good ideas. I could see where they were going with it, but it wasn't fleshed out. Right. It felt like the first draft of a screenplay.
Right.
That just got made into a movie because Cobra Kai is ending and we want to
like maybe a couple movies that were kind of interwoven into one mid one.
Yeah. And I see what people, because you mentioned this before, when they said the tournament was rushed, it was, but it wasn't as rushed in a sense that made me feel like it wasn't good. It was just the biggest problem wasn't that. It was the not being able to decide if we want this to be about the boxer or the tournament. That was the biggest problem. So there were a lot of really interesting, really cool things in this movie that were better than it got credit for. But it was a pretty entertaining movie. I'd recommend you watch it. I think you would have fun with it.
I didn't know it was on Netflix, but I'll definitely check it out. I mean, I never had an issue with like watching it. I like you said, we kind of agreed we weren't going to go pay money for it in theaters. But
yeah, that's true. It's just the hype right at the end of Cobra Kai, Multiverse of Mr. Hanan. Again, they hyped it up too much.
Yeah.
If they would have just made this they shouldn't have even called it Karate Kid. They could have just called it something else. Kung Fu Boy, whatever. And then if Daniel would have showed up and we would have been like, what? Same universe? You know, it's the same thing as the last thing I'll say, and then I'll be done.
No, you're good. I'm actually going to ask you something about it.
There's a little end credit scene where, because the whole thing is we wanted to tie into Cobra Kai. That's what we just finished. We've come to love Daniel and Johnny. Mr. Han sends Daniel a gift in California, and he opens the door, and Johnny's in his house. And I probably shouldn't have ruined that for you, so I'm sorry. But
that's what I was going to ask.
Johnny's in there, and he's like, how did the thing in New York go and stuff? And Daniel's just talking to him about the gift, and then they hint at, like, there's more to come with these characters, which is the biggest thing that I wanted from this. It's like, if you're going to put Mr. Han in here, how is that going to work with Johnny and all of this? And so, yeah. But I don't know if they're going to do it now because the movie flopped so hard, so I don't know.
Well, but Cobra Kai was a very successful thing.
Yeah.
So if they did it, they probably just do it more under the banner of that and then kind of fold in the Karate Kid Legend stuff. But that's what I was going to ask, is I heard that there was like a brief cameo from Cobra Kai, a Cobra Kai character, but that the guy I watched review it said it wasn't enough. Like, it was like lackluster compared to what he was expecting. So
I would agree with that.
So I guess that's what he was talking about. Because literally, that's what I was going to ask you was, who was the other cameo? Because I'm going to watch it regardless, but I've been wondering that for a while, and I've just never like looked into it. But that makes sense that it would be Johnny.
But I guess the reason I got more out of this movie is because I had such low expectations. I thought it was going to be awful.
That helps. I mean, the fact, I think when you pay money to go to a theater to watch it, you kind of feel like you deserve a certain level of experience. I think that's just part of it. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everyone. Me, you, everyone who does it. I think that's fair. It's too expensive to go do it and then come out of there feeling like, well, that was not great.
Yeah.
So I think when people went and did that and came out of it being like, that wasn't what I was expecting, they kind of crapped all over it. Maybe a little too harshly, but... And then aside from that, like you said, so that kind of put this idea in your head of like, man, this ain't going to be anything of what I wanted it to be, but I have a way of watching it now at home, so I'll just see what it is. You went into it with like no expectations. When you have no expectations for something, you'd be surprised how good something can be. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I have plenty of examples of stuff like that. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I mean, you know, it makes sense. It makes it, because I don't think that I got the vibe it was a bad movie from things that I heard. I just got the vibe that like it could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like, I agree with you, and I told you that day, like, I think they maybe should have really flipped the script and like leaned into, instead of this kid being the one learning how to deal with his bully, the kid teaching an adult how to do his thing and like implementing some kung fu stuff into the boxing. And like, I mean, in order to like fully do it, the guy would have had to have been more like an MMA guy than a boxer, because I know kung fu deals with feet and stuff too, and you can't kick in boxing. But anyway, point is, I think it would have been interesting to maybe lean more into that. And then like, if you still have like a tournament aspect, maybe they have like an agreement, like, I'll help train you for your boxing things, so you could pay these guys back, and you help after that give me a new edge to my kung fu for this tournament. And then, like, maybe, again, Debbie Downer here.
I say nix the tournament entirely, but yeah.
Well, my reason for that was going to be, like, you have the guy die or something, like he still gets killed by the gang or whatever, and it like throws the kid off, and like it adds a new layer of whatever to him going into the turn. Does he lose because of that, or does he fight for him? It, like, you know, it adds a little bit of tragedy to the movie, and that's sad, but at the same time it's different. I mean, they don't do a lot of stuff like that in Karate Kid. And I just think that would have been like a more mature, different take on it, and you know, people might hate that. People might have heard that and be like, that's really dumb, like I wouldn't watch that. That's fine, but a lot of people felt that way about what they put out too. So I mean,
no, I'm with you there. If, like, having the guy die, like no mention of the tournament, then the guy dies, and then maybe a tournament is a way for him to get revenge, or I don't know.
That, yeah.
And the opposite thing should have happened. He should have started with Daniel LaRusso. He should have run into him, and they should have leaned on the mentality of the breathing and the like how Miyagi taught him how to live his life. That should have been Daniel's role.
Exactly.
And then Daniel realizes, you know what, we need more help than this, and he goes and gets Mr. Han. That's what it should have been. And there should have been no connection in the trailer to Karate Kid.
You know, and that would have been really interesting too, because calling it Karate Kid and like knowing that this franchise is so tied to karate, it would have been interesting if the kid just sucked at karate, and then they go get Mr. Han, and he's like, we need to take a different approach, and he teaches him the kung fu stuff, and it just works with him a lot better. Like maybe his, you know, they do lean into almost this whole belief in these movies that there's almost like a spiritualness to these martial arts, and that maybe one might not vibe with you the right way. Like even in Cobra Kai, they don't outright say it so much, at least to where I'm at, but like these kids have different styles a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think it would have been interesting if maybe like he takes kung fu to his karate tournament, and maybe you just see him like wipe the floor with kids because he's doing it a different way. Like, you know, or like you said, maybe he like takes a bigger role in like fighting off this gang that's beating up this dad that's just trying to run a pizza place or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. All in all,
you know, we have these conversations a lot, and it makes me mad because I'm like, why didn't they do it this way? But you know what they should have done? They should have had Daniel be his mentor secretly, and then Daniel's helping him, and then he's like, you know what, you need some help, and then he brings Johnny in, and then Johnny's like, dude, you just got to man up and do it, like, and that's not working either, and then Daniel realizes we need some real help, and then that's what it should have been.
Yeah,
and then,
that would have been cool.
Because the Johnny would have been like a big surprise, like, oh, the Johnny, and then like Mr. Han would have been just like, what? You're bringing him in, like,
and then bring Jaden Smith in,
and yeah,
he's an icon.
I do agree that it was a little bit. I wouldn't say that it's fully lackluster, because the fact that they chose Johnny as the cameo is huge. You know, I don't know. I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, what if Hawk would have showed up?
That would have been cool.
That would have been an even better, like if he was in the tournament.
To be fair, I mean, I don't know. I think now granted, I haven't finished Cobra Kai. I need to. I think having one of the kids show up would have been neat for like the tournament, like you said. But I do agree with you. I think having Johnny show up alludes to maybe there being more to come. And I don't think I would have got the same vibe if just one of the kids showed up in the tournament. And like, I would have been like, oh, that's cool, they're going to fight. But then also you'd be torn, like, who do you want to win?
That would make it fun, though. That would make it really interesting.
Yeah, but you're going to be kind of sad no matter what. Like, if the new kid beats the one that you've been watching for years on the show, you're like, man, that's kind of BS. Yeah. But then, like, if he beats him, you're like, the main character lost.
Yeah.
What kind of movie is this? I don't know. I think all in all, having Johnny be the cameo was probably the best call.
You're right.
Not to mention just the fact that from what I have seen of Cobra Kai so far, their chemistry, they always have the best scenes together, and it kills me because season 1 and season 2 did the same thing. Where like the episode before the last one, they have this like bottle episode where they're like forced to hang out for some reason. Like in the first one, he's driving him around in the car.
Yeah.
And in the second one, they go on the double date. Yeah. And it's like starts off really like rough. Both, it's the exact same. And then by the end of it, they're like kind of broing out. And it's like, that's kind of cool. Like they're like becoming friends a little bit. Got some similar things in common, blah, blah, blah. And then there's always like some crazy thing at the end that happens that like ruins it. And then the last episode's like depressing.
Dude, you gotta keep watching it, man. It's got the best finale to a series I've ever seen.
I know. I got so much to watch. the Daredevils, the Cobra Kais.
When Chris gets depressed, he turns New Yorker. I don't know why. Every time he comes in, Daniel, how's it going? I'm like, all right, let's talk.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Well, today I was stuck in traffic for 45 minutes. That's not New Yorker. That's more like old, like Jewish New Yorker. I guess there's some New Yorker in that.
That's not a New Yorker. It's a New Yorker. Anyway, I think we're up on time. Swagadopalicious.
No, but that was. I'm glad we had a lot to talk about on that one.
Me too.
Like you said, a 3-week break. It sucks because I don't like waiting that long, but there is usually a good bit to talk about. So
That's true.
next time we meet up, we can just hug.
Yeah.
For
Let's
2
not do that
hours.
at all.
I swear, he does love me. It's just off camera. He refuses to be nice to me on camera.
It's true. I don't know why.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't want evidence either.
Is that it?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah. See y'all later.
Bye.